and welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle. We are actually going to be doing an August reset. This is going to be my second video in my monthly financial reset video series, and see how we did compared to our budget, how we did in hitting our savings goals, and we're basically going to set up for the month of August. I love recording these videos so much because I love goal setting. I love the beginning of the month. It just feels like a brand new fresh start, and whatever baggage you had in the month before, it is the perfect opportunity to just release that and start off on a brand new page, because we have a brand new 31 days. August have 30 days. We have a brand new 30 days ahead of us. Full transparency, we're actually already into August a little bit. Today is Friday, August 2nd. And honestly, my work week just got the best of me. But mark my words, the September video I will release on September 1st. I'm going to make sure that I am ahead of the game for the month of September, and that is one of my August goals. But let's talk about August for a second. To me, August is like a transition month. There's a lot of beginnings and endings for August. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the end of summer. My mind is still like a school child, and I think of August being like the last month of summer vacation. So to me, it's like the final hoorah. I have not used that word in such a long time. The final hoorah. And we usually like to sneak in a last minute vacation or a little getaway. And we're actually doing that. We're going to Mexico, and we're driving down there to go visit some family and of course eat some tacos, because who would go to Mexico and not eat tacos? I mean, unless you're not trying to get sick, but I will risk it. So it's kind of like the transition out of summer, and then the transition into the only season that honestly matters, in my opinion. I am such a fall girl through and through. I love fall. I love pumpkin flavored things. I know that's like either a hit or miss. I love peppermint flavored things. I love pumpkins. I love Christmas trees. I love buying gifts for people and going Christmas shopping. I love just like the overall coziness. Also, August represents my husband's birthday, so it's the start of a new year for him. We now have a middle schooler on our hands. My daughter's starting middle school in 2 weeks. So we have to go back to school shopping this Saturday, and I'm a little terrified of her starting middle school. Yeah, I'm a little terrified. I feel like August is going to be a good month. Go ahead and grab your coffee, matcha, whatever it may be. I'm actually having some mushroom coffee. The funny thing is I hate mushrooms. I will not eat mushrooms on my pizza, stuffed mushrooms. Like, mushroom coffee is good. I like it. And it's good for you. I also have America's favorite cookie. I'm kidding. My daughter called it America's favorite cookie last night. A mega stuffed Oreo. One more final thing. I wanted to show you guys what you look like right now, because I got a new setup. I see if I can show you on the phone. You are a Sony ZV-1 camera. I also got an attached mic, a Rode microphone. Let me know if this looks better and sounds better than the video before, but I'm loving it so far, and I hope you do too. Let's go ahead and jump into the month of July. We did relatively good this month. I say that because we did not hit budget. However, we've never hit budget in the past year. That means we probably need to make some adjustments and make our savings goals a little bit less aggressive. But I am happy with what we were able to deliver in the month of July. This is actually the second best month we've had out of the entire year. February was our first best month, when we only went over budget by $878. And in the month of July, we went over budget by only $1,235. I know that doesn't sound like it's good, but with the added context of knowing that we've gone over budget on average $3,000 to $4,000 each month in 2024, I hope that helps put into perspective that going over budget by $1,200 is really good compared to what we have been doing. And April specifically was the worst month, where we went over a budget by $9,000 something. We went over budget by $9,000 something, and we virtually saved nothing. That was the worst month. We don't like to talk about that month. So let's get into it and we'll see what those numbers actually look like. Okay, so for the month of July, my husband and I made a total combined income of $16,045, which is really good. This is definitely above what we make from our regular paychecks. So let's see how we made that money this month. We did make what we expected, so pretty on target with what we expected from our employers. We also made an additional $559 from the interest paid through our high yield savings account set at 4.5%. So I love that we're able to have that money easily accessible and it's sitting there and it's building value. I didn't get any restricted stock units this month, but we did do some dog sitting. So we made a total of $1,500 through our side gigs, and we watched a pup over the course of 4th of July weekend. My husband also did some overtime, so he made an extra $700 from that, which is really great. Let's see what we spent that money on, and of course, how we saved that money. So the first thing that we always pay at the beginning of each month is rent. Rent is $2,400. If you saw my previous video, you would know that we actually rent an in-law quarters. I don't know how to describe it. An in-law suite on my parents' property. And it's basically the size of like a 2-bedroom apartment. So it's nice to be able to save money on rent because we live in the Bay Area, and for sure, if we were to go out there and try to find a 2-bedroom apartment, I'm sure it would be over $2,400. Auto insurance was $178 this month. It was $34 over what we expected. I have no idea why our auto insurance just keeps increasing. We're going to have to take a look at that because this is like the 2nd or 3rd month in a row where it has been over what we expected, but that's that. I also pay $12.90 a month for identity theft insurance. We live in a crazy world, you guys. I've gotten my email hacked. I've received text messages like just last week from Acorns Investment telling me that someone is trying to log into my account and reactivate it. I don't even have that account anymore. So very sketchy. I also pay $24.99 for disability insurance. And my husband and I both pay for term life insurance. Honestly, we wouldn't have this if we didn't have the girls. The only reason we have term life is because we have children and we want to make sure that if anything were to happen to either one of us, or like God forbid both of us, we are taking care of the girls and each other. We also pay for Bear's insurance. This is pet insurance. And we have a golden doodle named Bear. We pay $33.95 a month for that. I actually have a good friend and her dog has cancer right now, and she said that there's literally no way that she would have been able to put him through the treatments he had to go through if she didn't have pet insurance. So you never know what is going to happen, and our pets are like our family. Now we have our Netflix subscription, so we pay $22.99 a month for that. I was starting to get kind of irritated with Netflix because there were like no good shows coming out. But recently, like very recently, as in yesterday, they actually just came out with a TV or a show series on one of the books that I recently read, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I started it last night and it's pretty good so far. Amazon Prime is $16.36. We buy almost everything for our household through Amazon Prime, so of course we pay that. We do pay Spotify as well. This actually went up this month, and I noticed this when it hit our account. I saw that it was $11.99, and it's so funny because before I ever tracked our expenses, there's no way that I would have known that it went up by $1. But I was sitting in bed with my husband and I was like, wait, did Spotify, did they increase their subscription by $1? And my husband was like, how would you know that? And I'm like, because I track our finances, of course. I also have my Aura Ring subscription. So this is a subscription that I need to pay for to use the iPhone app for my Aura Ring. And I love my Aura Ring. I've said this in my previous video. I have had it for about 4 months now. I'm able to track my sleep, step count. I'm able to track my readiness and resilience and even my cardiovascular age, which is kind of cool. This is like a new thing. And according to Aura, my cardiovascular age is 3 years younger than what my actual age is, which I will not tell you guys. Not yet. We don't know each other like that yet. I'm kidding. But I love this Aura ring and I recommend it to everyone I speak to. So next we have Apple insurance. That's $9.99. We also paid $2.99 for iCloud storage. And then I have my OnePass Select, which is $144. This is like my gym membership. I'm able to attend different fitness classes, which I thought was really cool. But the thing is I've started to really fall in love with my barre classes. So I actually asked them the other day to see what like a monthly membership would be to barre alone. And they said $188. And I was like, dang, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense to like switch over, but we'll see what I decide in the next few months here. I am going to try to attend like many more different fitness classes in the month of August just to try out different things. I kind of like to convince myself to stay with this and just like go to these different fitness classes because it's a better price. We'll see what I decide to do with that. And finally, under subscriptions and memberships, we also pay $39.99 for LinkedIn Premium. My husband is still job searching, so that's why we continue to pay for this. And he has had some recent interviews, so that was really good. Now let's move on to our actual expenses. This is where things get juicy. We went over $168 for groceries, which honestly is not bad. We usually do a pretty good job of actually staying around that $1,200 mark. So I feel pretty good about where we landed with that. Eating out was actually really good this month. So we only went over budget by $174. And I laugh because every time I say we did really good, we only went over budget by this amount of money, I know like that doesn't make sense. But again, having the full perspective and context of our financial journey, reining our like over budget number is truly like what we're focusing on, and we've actually done such a good job at it. So let me show you what I mean. So if I go to my annual totals and we look at eating out, you can see that in previous months we spent nowhere under $1,000. This is actually the first month that we've come in under $1,000. I think that we were so busy this month that we actually didn't have a lot of dinner plans or dinner dates. And the rest of it was like In-N-Out, Panda Express. It was just so random because we don't usually go to Panda Express, and I think it showed up like 4 different times this month. Fuel, we did pretty good as well. We only went over by $58. This will probably increase in the next few months just because my daughter is going back to school, which means I'll be driving her to school and back from school. And whenever I go out of the house, I usually run some errands as well. The fact that she's been home and on summer vacation, I don't drive as much. So the only fuel that we really use is when my husband commutes to his work every day. And also when we do weekend trips, like drive to the beach or like drive to the mountains and do a hike. Like we're usually driving a lot during the weekend because we like to get out of the house and we like to go explore. Shopping, we spent $1,341, which again is very good relative to previous months. Let me go back to my annual totals. We'll see what shopping was like in previous months. So actually February was really good because I did a no spend challenge in February. I basically told myself like we're not going to buy anything, and that resulted in us only buying $238 worth of things. April, the month we don't like to talk about, the month that was wild and really bad. But yeah, relatively speaking, we did pretty good compared to what we usually spend in shopping. And I realized that we actually won't be able to do a no spend month in August because we're going back to school shopping this Saturday anyways, so that wouldn't work. Entertainment, We only spent $130, and of course that's really good. I think this was actually the Art and Wine Festival that we went to. Otherwise, like, most of our entertainment for the month of July was going to the beach or going on like biking trips or just walking and hiking and just being outside. Usually you can do a lot of just outdoors activities that don't cost a lot of money. Whereas when winter comes around, we usually like do skiing, or we're like inside and like go to the movies a lot, or we go to the ice rink, like things that actually cost money. So I do want to go see Twister though. I think we're going to look at maybe taking the girls to go see Twister tonight. So that of course will be in our August budget. Our home category, we only spent $151, so we only went over budget by $1.28, which is really good. I of course did stock up on like all the homey things like laundry detergent, dishwasher soap, washcloths, like stuff like that. I did buy my husband an early birthday present off TikTok shop. I bought him these like manly things off TikTok, and one of them is like a little fan that he can clip on to his work pants and like cool himself down. And then the other is like an electric screwdriver, and I saw it all over TikTok. It looked pretty cool. So that's his early birthday present, and of course I'm going to be buying something him for his birthday coming up on Monday. Pets, we spent nothing, which is funny, but I think it's just because, I mean, we got Bear groomed last month and all the food that we bought the previous month rolled over to this month, but he is running low on food and we will probably have to have a higher pet expense in the month of August. Wellness, we spent $171. I think this just includes some doctor visits, some maybe like vitamins, I think just like random things like that. I think we also did buy a COVID test. We thought Sasha had COVID. Thankfully she didn't, but that's kind of what made up that category. And lastly, miscellaneous. Usually when miscellaneous is this high, I like to look to see what we actually spent in this category and see if it makes sense to make a category on its own based on like if they're repetitive, similar charges. This was kind of an outlier month because we spent $300 on auto parts, and I actually put that under our miscellaneous category because I don't have an auto category. So that means otherwise, like, we were pretty much in budget with what our miscellaneous expenses would be, which was $200. All of that came out to be $4,860 in expenses, putting us over budget by only $1,235. If I were recording this video a week ago, we were actually in budget. We had all of these expenses, like last minute large expenses in the past several days. So we did the auto part thing. I also bought my replacement earrings. I lost a pair of gold earrings that I wear every single day. I gave myself 2 weeks to find them. They did not show up, so I bought my replacement earrings, which was $100. We also went to Costco. So there were like a lot of last minute expenses in the like last 2 days of the month. I really thought we were going to be in budget for the first time the entire year, and that really just goes to show like how big of a difference like one intense day of spending or like 2 intense days of spending can really make or break your budget. So now let's go over to our savings. I love talking about what we saved this month because this is of course the thing that is going to get us closer and closer to our financial goals. So we saved a total of $4,189, which is really good. This number looks red, but it really should be green because this means we saved $856 more than what we were expecting to save, which was $3,333. I said that very weird. However, if you saw my previous video, you know that one of my goals this month was to make sure that any additional money we made outside of our employer paychecks, we put 100% of it to our savings bucket. So if we were to do that, this number should be our pet sitting and my husband's overtime. And it's not that. It's only $856 out of the $2,100, I think it is, that we made in addition. So good, because we still saved money from our side gigs or like the side avenues that we got income from, but we didn't save 100% of it. But I'm still happy. I'm still happy with what we did. I think that is still a great number. We don't contribute anything to our emergency fund because the amount that it's currently sitting at right now, we're comfortable with it. In the future, I would like to begin contributing to it a bit more, just to increase the amount of time that that can cover us. I think right now it's falling more around like the 4 to 5 month mark, but I would like to make sure that we have an emergency fund to cover us for at least 6 to 12 months. We contributed $250 to our index funds. So this is our primary investment fund. That has been doing very well. I also contribute to my employee stock purchase plan. So this money is pulled directly out of my paycheck, and it basically is a program available through my employer where you're able to purchase your company's stock at a discount, and they kind of like pull all of your money into this like bucket. This goes over the course of like 6 or maybe like 12 months. I think in my case it's a 6-month program, and at the end of the 6 months it will vest, and hopefully the intention, the plan and goal is to have made money from that. So I'm excited to see how that performs. This is the first time that I've actually been involved in this program. I wish I actually got involved a bit earlier, but I don't like to invest in anything that I don't understand. So this year I actually made a point to understand what this program is and how it works. And so then I was able to finally participate in it. Okay, and then I contributed $846 to my 401k. I also have a Roth IRA, which I recently opened, and this month I contributed $500 to that. I have 2 different retirement plans or investment accounts because I like to diversify my retirement options. So one will be taxed when I withdraw the money, and the other one is taxed as I put in money. So that's kind of like the thought process behind having both a 401k and a Roth IRA. My husband, however, his primary retirement fund is a Roth IRA, so we max it out to be $611 a month. And then both of our daughters have a college 529 plan, which we contribute $100 per month ongoing. And to bring us home, we do have a vacation fund. I recently opened this like 4 months ago, so right now it's sitting at like $2,000, and I contribute $500 a month to that vacation fund. It is so nice to have a vacation fund because I don't feel guilty anymore by pulling money out of our savings buckets to pay for our vacation. That's what I used to do and how I used to manage our finances, and it just feels not good taking money out of your savings fund, because in my mind, to me, like that money shouldn't be touched. It should just be sitting there and growing. So it's really nice to finally like have different buckets for different large expenses. I'm actually going to be starting a Christmas savings bucket as well. I think it'll be so nice to go into the holidays with money designated to Christmas shopping and not trying to like cover that and take the hit in our regular month-to-month budget. I also want a new couch so badly. I am so tired of our couch and it's just not comfortable, and I want to be able to like have a big comfy couch, but furniture is so expensive. So I've decided that we're also going to do a little couch fund as well. So those will be added into August budget. Now we're going to set ourselves up for August. We're going to set up our August budget. So let's go over here and see what we have going on. So first with income, we don't have any plans to do any like side gigs this month, so I don't foresee any extra money coming in that way. I don't think I have any restricted stock units either, but based on the interest we received from last month, I'm going to put $599 here for what we should expect to receive through our high yield interest savings account. That was a very long word. Is that our high yield savings account? Bills and subscriptions will stay the same. And let's move on to expenses. So I'm going to keep our grocery budget at $1,000. I feel like we've been pretty good at almost hitting that. Eating out, I'm also going to keep at $500. We are going to be going on vacation, but I don't expect the food in Mexico to be that expensive. I mean, we're going to be going to like taco stands and whatnot. Fuel, $600. At first I was going to say this should be good, but I forgot that we're actually driving to Mexico. So I'm probably going to add maybe $300 here to cover gas in our travel bucket. And what I'm also going to do is, instead of contributing to our vacation fund this month, I'm going to keep that at zero and use that money to put towards our traveling this month. So that should give us an extra $500, which would be $800 this month. And then we'll also have the $2,000 that we have in our vacation fund currently to be able to cover things like our hotel and our rental car and all of that stuff. So that feels good. Shopping, I mean, realistically, we've never hit $500. The fact that we also have to go back to school shopping on Saturday, I'm going to make this $1,000. We're also going to be on vacation. We're not just going to Mexico, we're also going to San Diego for a day or two. So I feel like $1,000 is probably good there. And I'm just kind of like talking out loud. This is usually my thought process when I'm setting these numbers. So that's why it might sound like I'm like jumping all over the place, but this is the process every month. Home, I'm going to keep at 150. We did just recently stock up on a bunch of things, so I feel good with that. My husband has a birthday on Monday, so we are going to buy him another birthday present when we're at the mall this weekend. I'm going to give myself a $200 budget. I think that should be good. Pets, I'm going to keep it at $75. I think we can move wellness down to $200. I want to get my nails done this month. I didn't the past 2 months. I've been using like glue on nails, and I think they're starting to like really ruin like some of my nails. I'm pretty sure it's from all the glue that I've been putting on them. So I would like to get my nails done. I would also like to take Sasha to get her nails done before she starts school. So we're gonna put that at $200. I'm going to maybe move miscellaneous down to $100, and hopefully we won't need more than that. And let's see where that puts us in terms of our balance. So that puts us at negative $674, which means we do have to pull that from our savings goals. So I don't like to adjust any of our investments. Like, these are actually all on automatic investments, so they just automatically get pulled from our account. So I don't like to touch those changes. I usually, if there is like wiggle room needing to be done, I'll usually do that in our general savings bucket. So I am going to take $3,333 and subtract $674. So that will put us at $2,659 to save. And with that, we should basically be at budget here. I'll actually move that even to 58, yeah. So now we should be in budget. Good. I do realize I actually forgot to go over my debt section for the month of July. So going back to the month of July, we did pay $320 for a loan that I currently have with a plastic surgeon. I had like a skin laser treatment a couple months ago. It was to heal some acne scars and some scarring, and that was like $3,000. I think I owe $2,000, maybe like $1,800 on that loan still. It is a 0 interest loan, meaning if I pay this off before like the final date, I don't have to pay any interest. So that's how I calculate what my monthly payment should be, which is $320. I basically took that $3,000, divided it by however many months was in that promotion offer, and then that's how I get my monthly payment. And I do the same thing with our Best Buy credit card. We purchased a TV like several months back, and we also have 0% financing on that. Now, why don't I pay this off completely just by pulling from our savings bucket? I don't do that because it's 0% financing, and the money that I have sitting in savings that I could take and pay off these credit cards with is actually making money. It's making money for me. So I'd rather keep it there in my high yield savings account and pay off these month to month until they're completely paid off, and never have to pay interest on it. So I feel like I've been talking so much, but there we are. I feel pretty good about our August setup. I'm excited to see how we do. I am overall very happy with where we ended in the month of July. Let's see what our split was. So our debt, our bills, and our subscriptions virtually never changed. They're pretty much fixed expenses. This month we spent 30% in our expense category, but we saved 48.8%, which is really good. I am very optimistic and hopeful that we can take some of these practices that we've done in the month of July and apply them to the rest of the year to see how much we can save by January. Now we're going to do our fun monthly reflection. I am currently reading A Court of Silver Flames. It is this beauty right here. Look how thick this book is. A year ago, I would have looked at this book and ran away. And if you were to tell me that I would have read like 5 books, kind of like the same size of this in the same year, I would have like thought you were joking. But I am happy to say that I am officially a reader. I'm officially a romantasy reader. I used to only be like into thriller. As you can see by some of my book choices at the beginning of the year, I read Silent Patient, the Housemaid series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is actually the series now available on Netflix as of August 1st. So if you don't plan on reading the book, I definitely recommend watching the series. It's pretty good so far. I think I mentioned in my last financial reset video that I started to read fantasy this year. I read Fourth Wing, and then I read Iron Flame, and I loved it. And then I moved on to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I started this book back in May. And then A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second book in the series. I love it so much. And then I read A Court of Wings and Ruins, which I rated an infinity rating because this book changed me. This book and Fourth Wing, I mean, I kind of want to put this back to 5. I love it. I love Fourth Wing, but this book is like up here and none of the other books below can touch it. So it's in its own world, in its own dimension for me. This book is me. I am it. And I love it so much. Now I'm reading the last book in the series as of now. I think there's a new one that will be coming out in January, and I think the 3rd book of the Fourth Wing series will also be coming out in January, so I'm going to be very busy reading. Do not disturb me. I'm kidding. This one is really good. It's taking me a little bit longer to get through. I don't know if it's because I'm trying to savor the series and I don't want it to end, or if it just isn't like as like nail biting as the other books were, but I'm really loving it. I read it on my Kindle here. I have like a little Shadow Daddy's Kindle charm. If you know, you know. Some cute little, yeah, this is my Kindle. I read it on my Kindle, but I also buy the actual book because it's like my trophy to myself. I'm also in 2 different book clubs. One of the book clubs, we're going to begin reading Powerless this month. So I haven't started this. I've seen so much about it on Book Talk though. So I am excited to get into that. And there are sequels to this book. I know for sure there's another one. I don't know if there's like a 3rd. And I'm also going to be reading Heartless Hunter in the other book club that I'm in. So I don't know anything about this book yet. I think it obviously looks like it's fantasy as well. So 2024 was the year of fantasy books for me. And it was honestly the year that I started reading. You can find me like this, like for the next like maybe 2 weeks. It'll probably take me 2 weeks to get through this. Maybe a little bit less. I might have to listen to some of the other books on audiobook because I mean, I'm a reader, but I'm not that quick yet. Finally, let's move on to our monthly reflection. So this is where I track all of my monthly intentions and goals and just like kind of like journal like little reminders that happened through the month. So for the month of July, my first intention was to spend more time, fun time with the girls. We definitely did that. We went on hikes. We went to the beach. We did like a little clay activity the other day. We made like little clay animals. So that was a lot of fun. I also wanted to stop pushing myself, stop being so hard on myself and listen to my body a bit more. Specifically, like when you have like a fitness tracker or like an Oura ring, I find that some people, including myself, get like very like driven to make sure that you hit your 10,000 step count. And like if I'm like at 6,000 steps and it's 8 o'clock at night, I would like force myself to like get on the treadmill and walk until I was like at 10,000 steps. The nice thing with the Oura ring is that it takes into account how you slept the night before, how you've recovered, and it will adjust your daily step count based on that. So some days it could be 10 if that's your baseline. Some days it could be 6,000. Some days it could be like 11,000 or 12,000 if you've had like a really good night of sleep for a couple nights and it's telling you like you're ready to go. So that's one of the reasons why I love the Oura ring. It helps you listen to what your body needs each day. We also had over 10 no spend days. So that was one of my financial goals, to make sure that we have at least 10 days where we don't spend any money except for things like necessity. I want to say we've had like around maybe 12 no spend days this month, which was really good. The only one I didn't check off because we didn't necessarily do it fully was to make sure that we don't use any side gig money to pad spending. We did do side gigs this month. We made some extra money. We put some of that money into savings, like $800-ish of it, which was good, but we didn't put all of it in, which means we did use some of our additional income this month to contribute to some spending, and that's why I didn't check it off completely. But again, I'm still happy with the progress that we were able to do, because in previous months, whenever we made extra money, all of that money would be gone. We wouldn't even put any of it towards savings. So I count that as progress. Biggest accomplishment this month, I met a new mom friend. We connected on this Facebook group like for local girls, women in the area. And we took our kids to the park and we hung out, and it was so much fun. I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to expand my social circle. I feel like working at home, I've been so like just in the house all the time, and I haven't had a lot of opportunities to meet new people. So that was really fun. It can definitely be a little bit intimidating when you're going to meet someone and you don't know them, but it went really good, and I was so glad to be able to make that connection. My biggest challenge this month was work-life balance. I've just had a very busy work month. We were just very busy. So it took a lot out of me. Favorite memory was an Aventura concert. So my husband and I went to go see them in Oakland. We were actually going to go see them in May, but we got sick. I think we had the norovirus. We actually ended up at the emergency room that night. Couldn't go to the concert. Later that night, my daughter started throwing up too. And then later that night, my husband started throwing up, and, you know, amongst other symptoms. And we were basically all sick that weekend and obviously couldn't make it to the concert. I didn't know that they were coming back to the Bay Area. So when my husband booked these tickets, it was a huge surprise, and I like to think that they came back just for us. Something new, we made clay animals with the kids. So I wanted to do some type of craft or some type of fun activity with them. And I went on Amazon and bought polymer clay, and we just like sculpted these little creatures or little animals. I made a mushroom. My daughter made like a little s'more. It was really fun. And finally, self-development. I love my bar classes. I think it's because the classes like really go by quickly because they split the classes up in like different sections. So in one, like for 15 minutes, you may be doing like cardio, and then you move on to like weightlifting, acrobatics kind of. And then there's also some yoga involved, and it's just like a really good mix, and it goes by so quickly. And the room is like really air conditioned, and it just feels really good to be able to work out in a cold room like that versus my hot yoga classes. I don't know why, but I've always thought it would be fun to be like an instructor for a workout class, and this one might be a fun one to kind of look into. So kind of, just thoughts in the back of my head. Well, finally, the last portion of this video, if you're still with me, is my monthly intentions and goals for August. So I want to make sure to take mini breaks throughout the workday, non-negotiable breaks, be able to step away for 10-15 minutes to take a little walk, grab like a glass of water, even just like take a reading break, whatever it is. I also want to start to develop a morning routine, especially with my daughter going back to school. When I'm able to get myself up before all the chaos of the morning, I'm able to just have a more grounded, like calm mindset throughout the day. So I would like to do that. I would like to get up early, do a little cleanup, do some prayer, also take a walk, and really just start my day off right. Mindful spending will continue to go into the month of August. We've already started this mindset shift in the month of July. And finally, make a friend or continue developing my existing friendships, continue to focus on my relationships with my families and friends. So that is August. Thank you so much for joining this video. I love recording these videos. It's so much fun. My goal is to make sure that the September video is up on September 1st. I will get there eventually, you guys. Of course, YouTube is just a new journey for me, and I'm so just happy to be here and be able to record these videos for you. If you are interested in this content, or if you like personal finances, or just like videos like this where we just reset and get started for a new month and eventually a new year, I would love to have you join and subscribe to my channel. Also, drop some comments below. I know there's not a lot of comments because this is a brand new channel, but don't be afraid to come and say hi to me in the comments. I will be checking them out if there are some, and I'll respond to you and say hi back. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your summer and start to your August. And if you are a fall person like I am, the countdown begins right now. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. My earrings are here. These are the earrings that I had to buy to replace the ones that I lost. Okay, let me put them on real quickly. It's on. How is it? How's it look? Cute? My husband and I both pay for term. Let me close this door. What's wrong?
I don't want my toys.
What? What's wrong?